Okay, in this video we're going to talk about how to calibrate the crane in Heist for the P3. So in Heist attract mode, I'm going to open the coin door, press the launch button, close the coin door. I'm going to navigate, get you in here, navigate to settings, mix, crane, and I'm going to hit calibrate crane. And to do that, the crane's going to come out here to the center. It ejected a ball that's stopped over here on the right wireform, and I'm prompted to move the crane down to the left to this green circle. So I'm going to use the buttons on the side of the cabinet. I'm going to move it over to the left. I'm going to pitch it down a little bit. A little bit more to the left, and I'm going to extend it out. What I'm going to try to do is, there's a small gray cup washer on the underside of the crane, and that is what I'm trying to place in this circle here. Extend, lower it down, and then as soon as I get it lowered, I'm going to receive a message that the crane is touching the play field. That's that red message down there. I'm going to press the launch button. I'm going to go to the second phase, which is aligning the ball, or the crane above the ball. So on the top right of this calibration, there are some numbers on the display. Those are the current settings of the servos. So my sweep servo, which is this guy right here, 122, I'm going to sweep that out here to the left a little more. Anytime you're sweeping on the crane, if you want to sweep from left to right, I like to start with it way farther left than it needs to be, and then go right and try not to overshoot, because if you overshoot the sweep position, there's a little bit of backlash in the servo. So for instance, the crane's here, I'm moving it to the right to 115. Now if I move it to the left, you can see the numbers increasing, but the crane doesn't move to the left until about there. So it took 10 whole ticks before the crane started moving that way again. So what I like to do is start over here at the left, then try to swing it right. One other thing to note, which I know has caused some trouble with some people, some customers have had reported this. This little disc back here, where am I at here? Okay, right there. That controls the pitch of the crane. Whenever I press the down buttons, the white button on the left side, the crane may appear to raise before it lowers. That's because this disc, that's the way the linkage is mounted in this disc. Keep pressing it, it'll keep going down. But that's a common question I get. Okay, let's see. I'm going to move the crane over the top of the ball. Now in this position, I'm going to raise the crane back up so you see that better. So if I lower the crane down now, the ball will move slightly back away from the gate. So that means that it would be better if I had the crane a little bit extended a little bit farther out. So I'm going to try that now. Yeah, so now if I lower the crane, it goes right on top of the ball, and the ball does not move on the wireform. So now that I like this position, I am going to press the launch button, and the machine is going to try these positions on the screen and some variation plus or minus 3 of each of them to try to determine if there's any better candidate. And while this is happening, there's a progress bar on the screen. What I like to look for when it's doing this step is that ideally the crane is getting a green light on the LED every time it tries to touch the ball. It means that it's having many successful attempts. If you're trying a calibration and it's just not finding the ball, you might need to power cycle and try it again. So whenever this loading bar in the middle is completed and it's tried all of its various attempts, it'll try the one it thinks is the best to pick the ball up, slide it over, and extend it to the green circle from the first phase. And there's a couple things to watch out for. Whenever it picks the ball up, you want to make sure it clears that wire form. See, mine barely touched the wire form at that point, which we can adjust manually. Calibration is good to get it pretty close. It's going to lower until the ball touches the playfield, and then you can press the launch button to save these results. Since my ball did clip the wire form whenever it raised up, I'm going to make a slight adjustment for that. Go into Settings, Mix, Crane, and adjust crane pitch max to be, let's say, 3 ticks higher. And that'll tell the crane that when you raise to pick the ball up, raise up a little bit more. And I can test this through the latest version of Diags. Excuse me. In the latest version of Diags, there's a crane pickup test. So I'm in the playfield module. I'm going to center the crane, which puts it center between its left and right position. It's not quite center at 6 o'clock, like you would think. So it's a little confusing. So what I'm going to do is center it and then highlight crane pickup. Then I'm going to press the launch button one time. That'll send a ball out to the lock position. I'm going to press it one more time. That'll test the pickup. I'm going to press it one more time, then I'll release the ball. And I can repeat that by pressing the button again. Once more to do a pickup. And once more to drop it. What I'm noticing on this particular calibration is, to me, it looks like when a crane goes to pick it up, it's not over to the right enough. So when the crane touches the ball, it's kind of pulled over to the right. So I'm going to make that adjustment really fast. Which means I want the crane to go farther to the right. So exit out of this menu. From within Diagnostics, open the coin door, launch button to get into Settings, Mix, Crane, and I'm going to adjust crane sweep right. I'm going to make that a lower number. That'll move it farther to the right. I'm going to go from 103 to 101, and it's important to change crane sweep right and crane sweep home so they are the same number. That tells the crane where it needs to go in its sweep to go to the home position, which is above the ball pickup spot. Exit out of that. Click in this menu, we'll try one more time. Oh, look at that. That looks pretty good. Did you not see that? Up a little higher so you guys can see it too. And that concludes some tips and tricks about calibrating your crane.